How many hearts does an octopus have? Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 pump blood through the gills, while the third circulates blood to the rest of the body. Their blood is also blue because it contains copper-based hemocyanin instead of iron-based hemoglobin. Which animal's tongue can be longer than its body? Chameleon. A chameleon's tongue can be up to twice the length of its body and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 1/100th of a second, one of the fastest movements in the animal kingdom. They essentially shoot their tongues at prey like a biological bungee cord. What unusual feature do male platypuses have that makes them one of the few venomous mammals? Venomous spurs on their hind legs. Male platypuses have hollow spurs on their hind legs connected to venom glands. The venom isn't lethal to humans, but causes extreme pain that can last for months and is resistant to morphine and other pain medications. If the axolotl can regenerate which of these body parts? Limbs, tail, eyes, heart, and parts of the brain. Axolotls have extraordinary regenerative abilities, allowing them to regrow entire limbs, parts of vital organs, and even portions of their brain, all without scarring. Scientists study them, hoping to unlock regenerative medicine for humans. What is unique about the way hairy frogs defend themselves? They break their own bones to create claws. When threatened, the horror frog or Wolverine frog breaks the bones in its toes, pushing them through the skin to create sharp claws for defense. Afterwards, the bones retract and the skin heals. Which lizard can shoot blood from its eyes as a defense mechanism? Texas horned lizard. When threatened, this lizard can increase blood pressure in its head, rupturing tiny vessels around its eyes and squirting blood up to 4 feet away. The blood contains chemicals that are foul-tasting to canine and feline predators. What defensive adaptation does the hagfish use when attacked? It produces slime that expands in water. When threatened, hagfish secrete a protein that, upon contact with seawater, expands into a slime 10,000 times its original volume. Which beetle can spray a boiling hot chemical mixture at predators? Bombardier beetle. This beetle mixes hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinones in a specialized chamber in its abdomen, creating a chemical reaction that reaches nearly 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. It can aim this spray with remarkable accuracy at predators. What unusual defensive behavior do exploding ants exhibit? They rupture their bodies to release toxic substances. Certain ant species in Southeast Asia will sacrifice themselves by contracting their abdominal muscles so violently that their bodies rupture, spraying a sticky, toxic yellow substance on attackers, a true example of altruistic self-sacrifice. How do sea cucumbers defend themselves when threatened? They eject their internal organs. When threatened, some sea cucumber species expel their internal organs, including intestines, respiratory trees, and reproductive organs, through thyranus or body wall. These sticky organs entangle predators while the sea cucumber escapes, later regenerating the lost parts. What unique behavior do dolphins use to identify each other? Unique signature whistles. Dolphins develop individual whistles that function like names. They use these signature sounds to identify and call to each other, even mimicking the whistles of close companions, essentially calling them by name similar to how humans use names. What surprising behavior have mice been observed performing for unconscious companions? Performing first aid behaviors. Recent research has shown that mice will attempt to revive unconscious companions through grooming, pawing, and nipping. Mice were more likely to help familiar mice, and those receiving this first aid tended to recover more quickly than those left alone. What unusual parenting behavior makes seahorses unique? Males give birth to the young. In seahorses, the female deposits her eggs into the male's specialized brood pouch, where he fertilizes and carries them until giving birth to fully formed juvenile seahorses, the only known case in the animal kingdom where males truly get pregnant and give birth. What do penguins offer as a proposal to potential mates? Pebbles. Male penguins search for the perfect pebble to present to a female as part of their courtship ritual. If she accepts, she'll add it to their nest. Pebbles are valuable in penguin colonies as they help raise nests above the wet ground to protect eggs. What surprising ability allows bees to recognize human faces? Piecing together visual patterns. Despite having relatively simple brains, bees can recognize human faces by breaking them down into simpler patterns and configurations. They use the same pattern recognition they apply to identifying flowers to remember and distinguish between human faces. Which jellyfish is potentially immortal due to its ability to revert to an earlier life stage? Turritopsis dohrnii, immortal jellyfish. When stressed or injured, this jellyfish can revert from its mature medusa stage back to its juvenile polyp stage, essentially aging backward. It can repeat this cycle indefinitely, making it theoretically immortal, though predation and disease still kill them in the wild. What extraordinary ability do pistol shrimp possess? They can snap their claw to create a sonic boom. Pistol shrimp snap their specialized claw so quickly that it creates a cavitation bubble that collapses with enough force to produce a sound reaching 218 decibels, louder than a gunshot. The collapsing bubble also briefly generates temperatures nearly as hot as the sun's surface. Which animal can detect electrical fields as low as 5 nanovolts per centimeter? Platypuses have electroreceptors in their bills that can detect the tiny electrical fields generated by the muscle contractions of prey. They hunt with their eyes, ears, and nostrils closed underwater, relying entirely on these electroreceptors and touch receptors to find food. What unusual ability allows wood frogs to survive being frozen solid? They replace water in cells with glucose. Wood frogs can survive having up to 65% of their body water freeze solid. Before freezing, their liver converts glycogen to glucose, which acts as a natural antifreeze inside their cells, preventing cellular damage. Their hearts stop beating and they stop breathing until they thaw in spring. Which animal can see polarized light, allowing it to read the sky's pattern for navigation? Dung beetle. Dung beetles can see polarized light patterns in the sky, even from the Milky Way, allowing them to roll their dung balls in straight lines away from competition even on moonless nights. They're the only known insect to navigate by the Milky Way's light. Which animal's milk is naturally pink? Hippopotamus. Hippos secrete a reddish-pink substance that contains hipposudoric acid and norepposudoric acid. This secretion acts as a natural sunscreen, moisturizer, and antibiotic. It's not actually milk, but the red secretion mixed with white milk can appear pink. What unusual feature do wombat droppings have? They're cube-shaped. Wombats are the only animals known to produce cube-shaped poop. This unique shape prevents the droppings from rolling away when used as territorial markers. The shape is formed by variable elastic properties of the intestinal walls, not by the wombat's square-shaped anal opening, which is round. Which animal can survive in outer space? Water bear tardigrade. These microscopic animals can survive the vacuum of space, radiation levels 1,000 times greater than what would kill a human, temperatures from near absolute zero to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, pressures 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trenches, and can go without food or water for 30 years by entering a dehydrated state called cryptobiosis. What unusual adaptation helps the Hoatzin bird digest its leafy diet? It ferments food in a cow-like foregut. The Hoatzin is the only bird with a digestive system similar to a cow's, using bacterial fermentation in a specialized foregut to break down plant material. This gives it a distinctive manure-like odor, earning it the nickname stinkbird. What bizarre feature do male giraffes use to determine if females are fertile? They taste the female's urine. Male giraffes will nudge a female's rear end to encourage urination, then taste the urine to detect hormones that indicate fertility. This behavior, called the Flamen response, is also seen in other mammals like horses and cats, though usually less dramatically. And that concludes our journey through the animal kingdom's most surprising facts. What animal facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed testing your animal knowledge today, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more nature quizzes and wildlife deep dives. Thanks for watching.